Most of these are very simple questions, and just short answers I think will do for most of these. In your debate with Peter Payne, you said, and you made the statement, and I've got the quote here, all actions are situational. There is not an action that is right or wrong. I can think of an exception in any case. Do you believe that?
Yeah, but the probability of some of those exceptions actually happening are so small that we can rule them out.
Absolutely.
We could think of it, yes.
Great. Okay. So in that, you said a person came up to the mic and they said, when would rape be acceptable? And you said that exact statement. You said, well, most of them you can almost rule them out, but hypothetically, if a bunch of aliens came down and said, we're going to destroy all of humanity if you don't rape a girl, would you do that? And you said in that debate, yes, it would be morally acceptable to rape that girl to save all of humanity. Do you still believe it?
It would be horrible. It would be regrettable. I would hate myself. I would probably kill myself after doing it, but I would have the courage. If that was the only option, if that were the only option, then I would go through with it. I would pity that woman. I would pity myself. But morality would require me to take the course of action that results in the least amount of harm. And those of you whose lives that I saved by doing that, you might be disgusted at what I did, but you would be alive rather than dead. So in that weird situation, which is hypothetical and extreme and would never happen, there are cases where what we think are right and wrong could be flipped around.
Now, let me ask you this next one. Could you rape two girls to save all of humankind?
Well, we're getting into computational, right? Yeah.
2,000.
I don't know if I'm up to it. I don't think you are.
I'm sorry, we're not. And if you did notice, that's pretty appalling to make a joke about something that's the most brutal crime that humanity can think of. So, continue. It's 2 million. There's 6 billion people. Would it be permissible to rape 2 million girls?
So say 6 billion? Yes. Yes, it would be. Because otherwise you've got 6 billion deaths. Are you telling me we should not do what is morally necessary to do to minimize harm? You can't get through life without some harm.
Okay, let me go to the next question if you don't mind.
Well, I didn't finish answering it, actually.
I'm sorry?
I think we all agree that it is wrong to stick a needle into a baby. That's horrible. But if that baby needs a life-saving injection, we will cause that harm. We will do that. The baby won't understand it, but we will do that because there's a greater good. So humanistic morality understands that within situations there is harm and there's a trade-off of values, and sometimes we don't live our lives in an emergency mode, but there might be an emergency situation where we might have to do something horrible and regrettable that's against our nature.
Okay, appreciate that. Now, you just said that it might be okay to cause some harm, and your definition of moral, in the ranking debate in most of your writing, any person can be called ethical or moral who intends to act in ways that minimize harm. Now, let me ask you a question. One doctor in Nazi Germany was asked how he could reconcile the death of so many Jews with his Hippocratic oath. And here's what he said. He said, when you find the diseased appendix, you remove it. Referring to the killing of the Jews as being a diseased appendix, him helping the body of humanity. He was intending to minimize harm. In his mind, was he moral?
No, because the rest of us can see. Fortunately, there are enough of us in humanity who love our species enough. We make laws to protect ourselves from brutal people like that. And you judge a person's morality by their intended actions. So he was wrong to do that because, if he wanted to think he was right, he could. But the rest of us know better.
Okay, so let's say a person, after raping 2 million girls, you came to them and you said, how could you rape 2 million girls? And you said, well, I was doing it to save humanity. Exactly what the Nazi doctor said he was doing it. And you just said he would not be moral. Well, let me go on.
But I bet you would thank me if I saved your life.
Not at the expense of doing something wrong, because I know that after this life, I've got somewhere much better to help.